So I'm right outside Papa Bear's, Irwin Bear's office, and he's telling me how to produce this video. And I said, what are you, the producer? And he says, no, he's the director. So, all right, he is Papa Bear. I want you to take a look at this haven of possibility. Creativity abounds in this room. Here is your M&M collection. Right, Irwin?
That's correct.
When did you get the Statue of Liberty?
That's the last M&M machine that was given to me.
I didn't know you. I thought you collected bears. Now look at the.
I do collect bears, but once somebody gave me an M&M machine, and from that point on, my travel agent has gone and given me all the rest of them.
So here we are. May I sit down and join you?
You certainly may. Have a seat on that beautiful quilt behind you. You might take a note of that. It is your fabric.
Oh, look at this. It's. You know, do you do...
You like the neatness of what we do?
Exactly. So here I'm going to sit here.
I want you to notice, would you put your focus on that sign, please?
All right. I guess that says it all.
Did you notice the quilt that you're sitting
Yes. It's beautiful fabric. And speaking of fabric, how long have you been in this industry?
I've been in the industry over 50 years.
Yes.
And I've been in business 46 years.
Well, everybody loves P&B Textiles, and I think a lot of it is due to you.
Well, that's very nice. I try to give the most personalized service that I can. I try to see as many accounts that I can for every affair that I've gone to, weddings, bar mitzvahs, or whatever, conferences. I always try to get to see customers in the towns where these events are taking place, and try to keep a personal touch. At the shows, I try not to sit down and work with customers on an individual basis. I like to stand around and schmooze with them and give them as much personalized service as I can.
King of schmooze.
I try to be.
Now, P&B, and that's you, prides itself on quality. How does somebody know what's quality and what's not quality when it comes to fabric?
Well, there are a variety of different market cloths that come out, that are the gray goods that are the most woven for the market. In other words, they'll be used in garments as well as over-the-counter retail for home sewing. And I try to find that fabric, that quality of fabric that will stand out and stand away from everything else. The fabric we're using today, the fabric that used to be involved was 68 square, and we have increased it by 10%, and we went to a 75 square.
What does that mean if somebody doesn't know?
It means that there are 75 threads each direction per square inch. For example, a sheet, when you see a sheet that says 300 count or 400 count, that would mean that there are, in a 300 count, maybe 150 threads in each direction. In a square inch. If it's 400 count, it would be 200 threads per each direction per square inch. Now, obviously, in order to fit in to that little square inch territory, the yarn has to be much thinner.
I was going to ask you about the yarn. Is there a difference in quality of yarn?
Oh, yeah, there's always a difference in quality, but there's also a difference in size. There's lower number, is the heavier the yarn, the higher the number, the thinner the yarn. Of course, obviously in a fabric sheet that has 300 or 400 or 500 count, you have to go much higher in number. You might go up as high as 80 or 90 or even 100 for a very, very thin yarn to fit in to that square inch. And that, of course, gives you the tighter the weave. It gives you a much smoother and much softer finish, and it's a much nicer fabric. So when we have a 75 square, using the same yarn size as the 68 square, we will give you a much nicer piece of goods. And we have been told that it's a much better cloth for applique, and it has a much silkier feel to it. So that's one of the things that I pride myself in. I'm really very important to me is the quality of the fabric.
So, Irwin, right now, I mean, it's no surprise that quilt shops are having a little bit of a struggle. Do you have any comments and thoughts about that?
Sure. I think it is critical for the quilter to support their independent quilt shop. And the reason for that is very simple. I say this often when I give talks to guilds. If you remember It's a Wonderful Life, and Jimmy Stewart, when he said to the angel, I wish I went up on. And what happened afterwards, all that he touched was not there anymore, and there were just evil all over the place. Well, this is not exactly the same thing, but close enough to use that as an analogy. If you don't have brick and mortar, quilt shops, there will be no reason for anybody to be designing or creating any of the fabrics that we do today. And as a result, the quilt industry will just simply disappear. So the question is do you mean to say that the chains won't do that, or Walmart or anything like that? Yes, they will not do it because they are not in the business of designing and creating anything except they are the merchants. They will buy from other people. So the chances are they will not do these kind of things. And so those that will design for the chains will do it on the basis of cost, price, and so forth. So it behooves everyone to be out there to take care of the quilt shop. This is a very service-oriented business. You need to get in there. You want to learn. They have classes, and they do all these kind of things for you. And I think that is critical to survival of the industry.
What's your favorite part of the industry?
My favorite part of the industry, I guess, would be just hanging out with the people. You know, basically, I sold the business, and normally one would say, well, you sold the business, you should be retiring. I have to stay on because I have a contract, but I hope to stay on even beyond the contract because I enjoy the people. I enjoy the schmoozing. I enjoy seeing us produce nice things, and I enjoy the challenge that's out there. Since I don't do all the designing and I'm doing all the schmoozing, I try to help people in business. And I think that it's important for me that if I can help one store survive, it's as if I've helped every store survive. So that's my motivation. That's what keeps me going.